So, Joe, have you watched The Bear on FX?
I have. I've not started season 2, so no spoilers, please.
Here's the thing about season 2. And we're actually going to get into some spoilers here in a second. But the thing about season 2 is that it really resonates with you and me and what we're doing.
Okay.
I mean, it hits.
It's going to hit me hard.
It's going to hit you hard.
Need the brown liquor?
And then all of a sudden, there's Coach K references. And
What?
Drew Jackson from the News and Observer. Food and dining, but occasionally helping with Brooke Kane on some television reporting as well. And I want to get to somebody.
We're all in the entertainment business, Joe.
I want to get to a colleague of ours who's never watched the show, but had to be on assignment to get a quote from Coach K. But we'll get that in a second. Drew, what's going on, man?
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
You've watched season 2 of The Bear, right?
I binged it in like 2 days. Same with the first season. It's possibly even better than the season 1.
I agree. I definitely agree. And now there's a recurring arc in this season where Coach K doesn't make any actual appearances, but his book and highlights end up making appearances. And maybe this is because we're too close to it, Drew. Joe, maybe you can back me up on this. I feel like the way that they kind of treat Coach K is not realistic, in that nobody loves K like apparently they love K on this show.
It's based in Chicago.
It's based in Chicago.
He's from Chicago.
I get
There's
all
our
that.
context.
So it's
the winningest coach in college basketball history.
But it's very forced. Like, oh, are you reading Coach K's book? Like, nobody talks like this when it comes to Coach K. That's all I'm getting at. Even in Chicago, I'm guessing. Is that an accurate representation, Drew?
I think so. It's very warm. He's like sort of represented as a pillar of leadership and a wise sage. They're lessons for basketball, but really you can apply them to any part of life. I think is kind of the message there. And in the show they take leadership and idea. This sort of central figure leading a group of people building towards some greater purpose. In this case, it's a steak or some kind of dish, and for K, obviously it's winning a basketball game.
Yeah.
Your experience in the restaurant business and covering it, Drew. How accurate is everyone being called chef on every reference?
Ooh, it's a little heavy. It's a lot. And I have not worked in that, certainly not that level of kitchen, but it's they say it a lot. They kind of it punctuates every sentence.
Right.
I'm not sure that it's quite to that level, but but maybe in some upper echelon world's best kind of kitchens, it is like that. But
corner.
At the
corner. No, that is important. You don't want to get
you don't want to run into that.
At the Harris Teeter or the Food Lion or any of the other grocery stores that sell fried chicken, do you think they get the chef treatment?
See, maybe not, but they should be. I would imagine they say corner and things like that. But I think that's kind of an interesting parallel because, like in season 1, you have. They're basically running a pretty homey kind of Italian beef kind of joint, and I think a nice fried chicken place is sort of similar, and you have this world-renowned chef that sort of comes in and he takes over, and they may be making a sandwich, but I mean he applies everything that he knows about food and knife skills and working in a kitchen, and he tries to make this very good sandwich something that's wonderful.
Yeah, there's and Drew Jackson joining us from the News and Observer. There are parallels to the real world. Like these types of things happen. Somebody burns out, or they go and they experience all the things that they can experience in a kitchen, and then they want to go back and make their elevated takes on comfort food. I mean, we have examples of this here locally with Ashley Christensen, right? And David Chang, who's a very famous chef who's got shows and things like that. I think he finally opened up his own chicken joint, the Fuku concept, in the old North State Food Hall, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's it's basically David Chang's chicken sandwich joint, and it's in the old JR's cigar factory.
Yeah. Right. So again, there's some parallels to real life. Although I was maybe because we're too close to it here in the triangle. I was very much like, oh man, they're being way too flowery about Coach K.
Well, there's no warm and fuzzies, as we learned on his farewell tour, which people, mistakenly thought, maybe ESPN in particular.
No. And this comes from somebody who has nothing but respect for Coach K.
Course.
We have a good relationship with Duke and Coach K, but we also know how things kind of play out in the real. That's why I was a little like
in the triangle. And he knows too. He knows. Ever ask him about, hey, Mike, when's the last time you were the ACC Coach of the Year? He'll just be like, come now. I'm not going to win that. You know how that works.
So we get into season 3 of the Bear?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that would be a tough place to end it. I think you got the hero in a.
I haven't gotten to the finale yet. But I just got done with the Christmas special, which
always, and it's the new Ted Lasso, right? You got the Christmas special out of nowhere.
No, this is the anti Ted Lasso. Trust me on this one.
I understand why you needed a break after that one. It's heavy.
Whew, that was a heavy episode. All right. Speaking of heavy, I felt heavy reading your grocery store fried chicken roundup with Brooke Kane, along with the Cookout shake roundup that you did a while back.
Brilliant, by the way.
So
the Cookout thing was brilliant.
I want to start, Drew, with the Cookout shake thing first. And I would imagine, because I've experienced this myself, people have strong opinions about their Cookout orders. And they have strong opinions about their shakes. And I will admit that I got a little miffed in reading your roundup that you just did single flavors. You got to combine the flavors. Are you going to follow up on the Cookout roundup and crown the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Oreo combination as the king of combos? Because that to me is undefeated.
Ooh, I mean, I totally understand that. And so we can but like where do you stop? Like how many, like
3
there
flavors.
are, so we did some math on
what math did you get?
I'm sorry,
what kind of math did you get on the combination?
Okay, so we obviously didn't do the combinations, and there are 40 some different flavors, and you can theoretically combine as many as you want. And so we had a former fellow at the summer fellow at the NNO. She has a PhD in mathematics. She spent a couple days working on this problem, and her answer was the number of Cookout milkshake combinations is 2 to the power of 40 minus 1, which I don't know what that means, but she said that it's basically 1.09 trillion combinations. So basically, that's why, I guess.
So what is the maximum that you can put in an order?
Any, like you could get like a
they're not
simple
gonna limit
full,
you. They're not gonna limit you. So I could basically do the soda fountain suicide version of a Cookout shake. So if we went to Cookout, like we're workshopping here. This is called live workshopping, Drew.
This is called staff meeting.
Staff meeting, live to tape. So if you, me, and Giglio, and let's get Brooke involved too. If we went to Cookout, they're on New Bern, and we said we want a shake with everything in it, they would do it.
Theoretically, that someone there was a Reddit thread, I believe, where someone said, I work at Cookout.
Yeah.
You can do this. I don't think that they were officially representing Cookout, but they
would be redundant. Like you wouldn't need peanut butter and banana and peanut butter banana.
No, you wouldn't need that,
right? So I mean,
yeah.
I would the math. Those are all in that number.
Yeah, for your math.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. And do we wait for the eggnog shake season to come around to throw that in as well?
Well, so this is kind of a special week because we have the watermelon shake.
Watermelon snack, right?
I think it's this weekend, and so obviously we weren't able to include that one. But have you all had that one? Because it's kind of amazing.
I have had it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking to Cookout, like
okay,
I'm like slobs over here.
Drew, I'm the guy who put Pappy Van Winkle in the eggnog milkshake.
I do remember that. I remember seeing that. I imagine you did get a lot of hate mail for that.
Where there's some really upset. The bourbon bros were really mad. I got a lot of people who said like, You should have all your bourbon taken away.
You forfeit all your future rights.
That's a $2,000 milkshake. I go, yeah.
And it was delicious.
It was delicious. But hey, look, when Wright Thompson, who wrote the book about Pappy Van Winkle, came up to me at a Duke game when he was writing the farewell pieces on Coach K, said, I loved it. I'm going to take that as a win, man. I'm going to take that as a win. Sure. All right, we'll close on this, Drew.
Yeah, the chicken. Don't leave us in suspense.
The chicken. All right. So how many grocery stores did you hit?
Gosh, so we did, Publix, Harris Teeter, Food Lion, Lowe's, Walmart, and we went to Wegmans, but they didn't have fresh fried chicken.
Yeah, Wegmans is hit or miss on their fried chicken. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Now, I'm partial to Publix fried chicken. However, time and place matters. I'm going to tell you right now, the Food Lion, right after you get over the Snows Cut Bridge in Carolina Beach, you get their fried chicken, cold, take it to the beach. You can't get anything better than that. It's undefeated.
That makes sense. That sounds more of an experiential kind of thing.
Yes.
So probably some beers involved.
Oh, there's definitely beers involved. A lot of Tecate. So where did you guys? How did this thing come down?
So, Publix by far was the Carly C's. That was number 2, and honestly really excellent. Middle of the afternoon. You would not expect.
Did you got the G?
We did. The Carly C's. Carly C's off of New Bern.
Oh, boo! You didn't go to the G.
Yeah. And so it went Publix, Carly C's, Lowe's, Food Lion. We had a bit of an issue with Food Lion because we showed up at 12:30. You would think prime chicken time, no chicken. So we go to Lowe's, try their really excellent, really thinly crispy, excellent chicken. And then we go to another nearby Food Lion, and we've missed their chicken as well. So they, it was not the best. It was kind of it was old and really the breading is way too thick on there, don't you think?
Sometimes there are people who ride for breading. Honestly,
okay, all right.
There are people who just absolutely love breading. Maybe that's why I'm kind of partial to the Food Lion sometimes because it can be too breaded, but I like breading because
I can see that would be better for a cold fried chicken. It would keep a little bit of a crunch.
How about the price, Drew? What was the best price? What was the best bang for your buck? Because I feel like grocery store chicken
Food Lion, because it was a little old, we got 50 cents off. So that Food Lion had a good price. Walmart had a good price. Publix, I think bang for your buck. I think it was either 9 or 12 for an 8-piece. All those numbers are a little jumbled up, but I think a fair price.
Drew, in the choice of fried chicken over roasted chicken, because I feel like roasted rotisserie chicken is the go-to when you go to a grocery store.
I would say it's the most consistent for sure. Like a Harris Teeter chicken is not too bad. Fried chicken in general is just one of my absolute favorite things. I think it's like that last meal sort of thing.
Already planning, Drew.
I know. You got to be ready.
Wait, where did you grow up? That fried chicken is one of your last meal choices.
I grew up in Southwest Virginia. So Tech was kind of the local school. But.
Okay. All right, well, Drew, we appreciate the time. I want to make this cookout thing happen. So I feel like we should coordinate.
We'll go to the one on New Bern.
We'll
just see how many they'll let us throw in there.
Honestly, and if they only allow X amount, I think we then huddle up and we either go, all right, you're gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, you're gonna get this, and then we combine them all.
Ooh.
Okay, and just mix it up and see what happens. All right. Yep. So you down for that?
I love that idea. And you're going to bring the Pappy Van Winkle as well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely bring the Pappy. I got my connect. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, thanks a lot.